And good evening, everybody. Welcome to episode 170. Now, before we even mention that, of course, didn't we do episode 170 last week? Yes, we did, but because of technical difficulties, and we want to apologize to each and every one of you about that, there was no way we can able to load that show, so we're going to start fresh. And thanks to the international break, we was able to do a do-over. So that's what this episode is all about. And of course, we start off things with a very nice win for the Red Bulls. They're back in the win column versus FC Cincinnati in an absolutely wild affair, something that we were already discussing, and people knew what was going to happen when you have two teams with very iffy defenses, and this is what you saw. Of course, we're also going to talk about Gotham FC. They finally scored a goal, but didn't win the game. They went in their rematch with Kansas City. Currently, last year they were the team with the number one seed and got knocked out by Gotham. So turns out that Kansas City got their revenge, and we're going to talk about that in length. Of course, Nicholas is currently having technical issues, but he'll be around, and he's going to bring you the preview versus the Red Bulls' next game, which is Inter Miami FC. It's sort of like not exactly a soft homecoming. Inter Miami entered the the soccer specific stadium league and new stadium. That's NU Stadium down there in Miami near South Beach had their grand opening versus Austin, versus Austin FC. Came out with a tie. Red Bulls are coming in looking to do that win. Now, of course, as always, this is the very live show, which is exclusive to our very, folks at the discussion group. But if you miss it, there's no big deal, because remember, you can always catch the on-demand recording on our YouTube channel. We don't have it at X anymore, but we always had their home from the very beginning, Spotify.com. Now, all of our shows are uploaded for your listening and viewing pleasure on Wednesday morning exactly at midnight. So you can join in on there. And speaking of which, if you have any questions or comments about the podcast or guests or anything or topics that we bring up, please send us an email. And we love to read them as they come along. It's NYRBDG, the podcast at gmail.com. Once again, NYRBDG, the podcast at gmail.com. So there's lots of us to talk about and everything else. We were dreading, of course, what's going to FC Cincinnati, but we got a win. Not only that, we won the weekend. So once it's all said and done, we're going to blow that horn as we always do, and to get things going. And as they say, whoops, I got the losing just a little bit too loud. But of course, we have our something as always. Whenever that we win and City didn't lose, they wound up with a draw. They had a chance to win the game, but coughed up a goal late. So they got 1 point to R3. And you know what that means, boys and girls. That basically means we get to blow that horn. So as they say, so as we say here at the podcast, we won the weekend. Do blow that, as I say, let's blow that, get things started by blowing that horn. Just waiting for me to come in, and here we go. All right. So with that said, let us get our ducks in a row. Let's bring, of course, the main host, Mark Coates, of course, and Mr. Leanos is still working with his technical issues, and he'll be bringing in shortly what things can be perfect.
Dial-up isn't working for him.
Yeah, but he'll be around me. So, Mark, let's talk about the game itself. We knew that this was going to be a wild one, right? We're talking about two teams with somewhat suspect defenses, okay? We're also talking about a team. There we go. We're also talking about a team. There he is. He made it. And what was that? The 8th try? Trying to get that on, but I'm glad.
I've restarted it like 4 times. I don't know. I think some mic update happened, and then it just.
Yeah, I think it was an upgrade of something, and everything else. But we all knew, about the game itself. We're talking about two teams with two, iffy, if I want to call it that, iffy defenses. One is still trying to get their defenses straight. One still figuring things out. They, but the good news was that although the FC Cincinnati practically owned them, Nick, there was one nice little wrinkle. There was a silver lining in that dark cloud. FC Cincinnati couldn't win a game outside of Ohio. That's neither here nor there. The question I have to ask for the both of you and everybody else: did the game pretty much reach your expectations? Let's start there.
I'm going to say I was pleasantly surprised. I had a feeling we would play obviously better than we did in Charlotte, but it was good to see Dylan Nealis back in. I think Bergeron was not the answer. I think Bergeron will tell you he's not the answer.
No.
So
we'll see him in Miami.
Yeah, but I think overall we're starting to see this team communicate, and I am really liking what I'm seeing with Caden Cowell. Everybody was like wondering how he was going to play, and he's really, really showing us why he was the guy they went after. I think he played a really good game, obviously feeding the ball inside. One, Julian Hall gets on the end of. The other one, Julian was there.
Yeah,
it wasn't his foot that it went off of. Every once in a while, own goal shows up and it helps us, not hurt us. So I think it was great. And then obviously at the end, I like that Hall made the turn toward the corner and said, "Nah, I'm not 21 yet. I'm turning around. We're playing some more." Because listen, we've watched these guys in Next Pro. They don't go to the corner in Next Pro. They just don't. No. They go to goal. Because if it's 4-0, let's make it 6-0. It's like they don't care.
Right. That's their motor. Yeah, that's their MO. I'm going to keep balling until someone tries to stop me or I stop. Nick, on the thread, which was wonderfully done, of course, by Helene Kraft Rudolph, you had issues with Mr. Horwath. I've never seen you or heard you that upset at a goalkeeper. What was going on? Of course, we're going to talk about defensively, but what was your pet peeve defensively, man?
I thought his distribution was like, what are you doing? What's going on here? He made a nice save. He runs out and he throws the ball right to the other team. Man, what are you doing? Wait, relax. I know we like to play fast and we like to play quick and we like to play quick and on the counter, but if they're outnumbering you, what are you throwing the ball to? Where are you kicking the ball to? You're not gonna. There are 4 guys against 1 guy. Hall's not gonna win that battle. Stop.
Right.
You should use common sense here. Well, the goal the first one that I'm not really blaming him because I think he was screened by Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
But you just the reaction was like, oh, that went in great. I didn't like the reaction either. I was like, not the good response. But anyway, we did play very well. I like Caden Cowell, the way he played up on the right side, and Marshall Ruddy was actually finding him in space to get the ball right to him. Mm-hmm. Too. That was a difference. That was a big difference in the game against Cincinnati than you saw against Charlotte. But Charlotte, they couldn't get the outlet to him. To either Jorge or Caden on the wing. Mm-hmm. Forsberg, I think you have to what a goal. Give him credit. Yeah. Bend the leg Beckham, perfect shot. Is he coming out of it? Hopefully, because the team definitely does need him. So and so far in a box can just score. If he gets time and space in a box, he can find the space. He can find the spot, and you just go. And that was with his left hand, and he roofed it.
This is just so fast.
This is
a problem.
Yeah, this is something that Anthony. He's got that pace. He's got that pace to burn you. Okay, that's the one thing about Sofo. The best thing you can do is try to slow him down because once he gets ahead of steam, he's a handful to deal with. And Anthony and I talked about this in the pregame. We said, hey. Red Bulls need to score goals. Well, they did. Okay. They scored 4 goals, which was the most they've scored this season. The one thing that I saw throughout was they was pushing the lineup just a little too high to my liking, where if they face off against a very good counterattack team, which is what Miami is, they're going to get burned. And so that's my only concern. But otherwise, it was a very good night. And for those who are wondering what we're talking about, here is the match recap in its entirety. Steve Cangelosi is the voice you're going to hear throughout.
Czechia midfielder who gets us started over the ball. Cincinnati wearing white. The Red Bulls in the dark kicks and underway tonight. Cowell again, able to work this across, wanted Julian Hall, and instead, Donkor, sharp angle, that's parried away. Loro got to it, brought down again by Red Bull. US Open Cup semifinal between these sides in 2017. Cowell racing forward, plays it across, goal! It's that man again, Julian Hall!
You talk about Red Bulls and how they want to play out from the back. It's Marshall Roy, he starts it, plays the ball down the side, and it's a lovely cutback from Cowell and Hall.
Kevin Denke gathers on the far side. He has Evander making a run. Now Denke slows, able to lay this ball off. Shot, goal, tie game!
He's drifted to the left-hand side. He realizes that Marshall Rutte, he's going to advance, so the space is going to be there, and he takes his time till he gets support. And this is just brilliant from Buka.
Quick shot, save is made. Horvath got to it.
He's just not being picked up at the moment.
Good touch by Denke. Echenike flying. Nealis tracking back into Echenike. Stop made.
Really difficult because he's coming up against two players, especially when Denke's going over there. That leaves a space then for Echenike to go into.
Mehmeti looks at goal, opts to pass. Marshall Rutte, save made. Loro.
That's when the best opportunities have come, when the centre forwards, when they've split, because Evander's becoming more of a centre forward, they're splitting and just going wider.
It's Evander's corner this time. The in-swinger save made. Horvath got up to deny. Out for another corner.
It's going to be DeSantis that will hit it.
Now do you switch it up if you're New York? No. Forsberg again going for goal. Strikes it off the crossbar and in. First of the year for the Red Bull captain. They regain the lead. It's 2-1.
That it potentially wasn't a foul, but what you cannot argue is the quality of the free kick. Because you look at Forsberg and you think to yourself, right, okay, he's got to get it up and over the wall. He doesn't. He actually just goes for pure power, and it's rising the second that it leaves his boot. It's absolutely outstanding. And what he does, he finds the gap between Hagelin and Buka, and that's the area, well,
remains on the field, given away here by Red Bull, and an opportunity to level here. Poke wide of goal, oh my goodness! How did he miss? Echenike. Buka able to elude the first defender, continues on, able to work it across. Echenike pulls it back, now lays it off, top of the box. Evander, save made by Horvath and cleared away. 104 World Cup games to be played on U.S. soil. Here comes Cowell for Red Bull. Pulls it back. Cade Cowell, nifty move a second time. Cowell whips it across. Goal!
And Cowell, it's been magnificent all game. That's why in the first half you could see all the attack was going down the right-hand side. And it's such a difficult one for Smith.
Taken here by Donkor. He'll quickly play ahead. And Cowell's on the move again. First year Red Bull Cade Cowell, top of the box, save made. That's Loro with the stop.
Anticipating where the run is going to be. Every time he gets his head up, and that's another prime example of it.
72nd minute and down by 2. This ball thrown in and poked behind to create the drama here in the second half.
And it's inadvertently flicked on as well from Nealis. And Smith.
Volodya, Donkor. Donkor to play this ball ahead. Sofo, Mohamed Sofo! There it is!
Brilliant play, but all about Donkor. He drives to the heart of it, and then Sofo just takes that one little step over, opens his...
Powell, given away. Intercept by Valencia. Alvis Powell hobbling Valencia. There was some intervention there, and let's see what the referee has to say. A straight red is issued. Alvis Powell sent off in the waning stages of the match. Goal scoring opportunity.
You can see he's limping to try and get himself back into position. You have to say that it is the...
Last weekend, this Red Bull side answers with an impressive 4-2 win on their home ground tonight. It's over.
Yeah, and it's exciting times for Red Bulls. You look at these young players, they show little fear.
Appearances of an MLS season. He's doing it at 18 years, 11 days old. What in the world would you guys be doing at that age? Okay, Forsberg. Okay,
I was at basic training. That's what I was doing at his age. So,
probably
different world.
Yep. Forsberg, of course, as you saw, and what a golazo that was. That was his first goal of the season, 21st of his career. Hopefully there would be more to that, tally. I'm sure it will be. The midfielder's 21 career goals in MLS is tied with guess who, gentlemen?
Sasha.
Nope.
Sorry, I'm choking to death over here.
Lloyd Sam for the third most by a midfielder in club history. Lloyd Sam, remember him? He's now a broadcaster nowadays these days. Sofo scored his first goal of the season, and that was his 6th of his MLS career. Doncor earned his first assist of the season, his 5th, in MLS career. Bolodor, he did. I mean, for as much stick as most of the fans here in this discussion group, they give this guy, this guy, he did it. He played pretty well. I mean, based on your ratings, Nick, he did very well this game. I say give this guy some, give this guy some tricky time, give this guy some room. He's going to start cooking. Well, there you go. I mean, he's doing quite well, and he's also he recorded his first assist with the team, and this is his 17th career assist in MLS. Marshall Ruddy earned his first assist with the Red Bulls, his 10th in his career in MLS. Goalkeeper in Harvath, he made 4 saves. But then, he was making some mistakes here and there. But if it weren't for those saves, where would this team be? And lastly, midfielder Nahum Benedetti, he was subbed in the match in the 80th minute, guys, and he made his MLS debut. Okay, with the win, 8-4-3 against Cincinnati, 4-2-0 in the last 6 matches against the side. And, of course, as I mentioned before, 4 goals, so it scored the most goals in a single MLS match this season. A couple of things I want to bring your attention, Nick, because you do a magnificent job with the with the post game, player ratings. Kay Cowell, excellent game. Julian Hall, good game. Emil Forsberg, very good game with a golazo. Adri Mehmeti, 6.5, okay game. You want to explain that one to me a little bit?
No, he was getting a little run over in this game. If you saw it, he was having a little. But the passing was fine. Defensively, he was getting pushed around in the midfield by Vander and Buka over there. So I was like, not his best defensively, but very good game all around. That's what I'm saying. It was an okay game because he was getting pushed. It had like a little Edelman-esque step getting stepped on.
Yeah.
There was a couple of moments like, ooh, that didn't look good. So
when Edelman, he was being flipped around like a pizza. I was getting a little annoyed with that.
The
hit
difference
the
I
weight
think here is that Edelman was a couple years older and probably should have been a little bit bulked up at that point.
Yeah.
And Mehmeti's still a teenager. So
right.
And he's getting
he's getting there, but we saw him last year playing with Next Pro, and he obviously he was the spark for the team. No, he wasn't at his best, I think, overall in this game. Not a bad game, but one of the things that I think a lot of us have to sort of take the step back and remind ourselves, this is going to be the rebuilding transition year, whatever you want to call it. Right. We've got so many young kids playing on this team. They have to learn to play at this level. And you're not going to see a perfect game out of these kids every single time.
No, you're not.
I think seeing Sofo show what he can do. He did it at the beginning of last season, and by August he was starting to show being worn out. Because
he definitely hit a wall last year. The
reason why we were joking last year, how many times did we joke around that there were certain individuals on the field because there was nothing on the bench. You had no option to the bench. Nope. We seem to have a little more bench this year. So, and again, a lot more communication. I mean, I think Nick hit on it. You're seeing Marshall, Ruddy, and Cowell starting to be in sync with each other. So that's a good sign. Mehmeti is working the middle. Forsberg is getting the ball into Rubicala. These guys are talking to each other, and they're making the right moves.
And Rubicala was making shots. Okay, they haven't gotten in, but he was making shots.
No, but you know what? You keep shooting the ball, eventually it's going to go.
It's going to go in. Yeah, I mean,
how many?
Keep shooting, bro.
Yeah. How many? We scream at guys to shoot the ball. How many times do we scream at guys? Why are you not making the runs into the box? Our guys are doing that this year. We're seeing these guys play like, and I love when Michael Bradley talks about it, playing our football our way. We're dictating how we're going to play. We're going to play our game. And he said it in the post game. Thank you, Garry. I loved hearing all that. We are not going to see this team control 90 minutes of a game.
No.
It's not possible. So there are times when they're going to dictate play. I agreed with Nick that, no, this wasn't a great game for Dylan Nealis, but it was his first game back. So I was willing to maybe give him a little more of a pass.
I was giving him a pass for
he wasn't but it wasn't a great game.
Okay. Keep going, you two. You're doing great with the debate. Go ahead, man.
On the second goal, I'll give him a pass on because he tried to head the ball away and he missed it. Okay, he missed time his jump. That's fine. That's a physical error. You accept those. The turnover by just getting stripped by Ikenik in the middle of the field.
No, that was bad.
That was bad.
I'll give you that.
That was horrendous.
I expected a goal right there. I was like, okay, here comes the layup.
And you see it coming. He's not passing it back.
Yeah.
Pass it back. Dylan, pass it back already. Pass it back. Oh no. Oh no.
Listen. Overall, I think we saw a good effort by everybody on the field. The subs came in and did fairly well. Obviously, overall, my concern is Horvath. I worry about this guy with his All
right, let's talk about him. Let's talk about him. I mean, because Nick brought it up. He was like, "I'm getting tired of this guy's mistakes." I've never felt your anger through those words, man. You was like you wanted to jump down there, grab him by the scruff of the neck, and run him off the field. Except AJ was not ready yet. I mean, he's not ready yet. So
we got a little bit to wait on AJ.
I mean. Go ahead, Mark. That was. Is it a concern the fact that he has looked flat-footed, and despite the saves?
I think overall my concern is he doesn't seem to.
Clem Sorelli said that, by the
way. I don't see him making the we were talking about, just good decisions with the ball when he's doing any type of distribution out of the back. I'd rather him kick the ball long than to just turn it over. And I watch U12 kids who play in goal, including my son, God bless him, when he was my keeper, and he would kick the ball right at the opposing player. And I'd be like, as the coach, I can't yell at my son, but as the father, I'm like, wait till I get home and yell at you because you're going to get but that's it. To see a professional making some questionable decisions like that. Yeah, it's like, all right, who are you? Which guy are you? Because you make some incredible saves. And for the most part, he gets into a good spot. We were talking Dylan on the play where Horvath made, just a glove save off the ball and went out for the corner. Dylan was making a good run back and was cutting off any passing lane.
That was Robert.
Yeah.
That was cut it off.
Yeah, that was Robert.
Yeah, he just said, "Take the shot. I got the defender. I got the other one." You
so it's just you've got and Horvath was there. He makes the save, and the other one he put over the top of the bar. He makes those great saves, but then it's like you watched the ball go in because you got screened and were you not tracking the ball? Like it makes me wonder: is this guy going to really do well for us for the rest? I want to see AJ come back, obviously, but my concern, and I love AJ. I've seen him since he started with the two team. The poor kid can't stay healthy. I mean, he got nailed, and broken collarbone. All right, that was. I mean, everybody in MSU. There were kids in the dorms on the other side of the tracks that heard him scream. All right, that's how hard he got hit, and then no card from the ref, by the way. Which that boggled our mind. The poor guy goes out on a stretcher. We see him crumple in Philly, down in a heap he goes. It's like, oh, this poor kid. He can't. I don't know. We've seen other guys who've come up that have had similar issues where they just don't stay healthy. I hope that's not the case with AJ, because I think he is going to be one of our keepers moving forward. The other one obviously is Aiden Stokes. All right, so. Is Horvath just keeping place for this year? I have a feeling he probably is. I don't see it. And McCarthy,
are we? Yeah, I was about to mention about McCarthy. Are we forgetting about him?
Yeah, we are, because we don't want to see him ever anymore.
You really want to see him after you?
I don't blame McCarthy that much on that game, but as much as I blame the LA Galaxy defense, which was pretty much non-existent in that match. I mean, they practically after the fourth goal, they waved the white flag. They just said, "The hell with it, y'all just score whatever goal y'all want." Okay, I've never seen a team, defense just give up on gave up on this. They stopped defending. Okay. That's inexcusable to me. That really is. But Coach Vanny was good with it and said, "Okay, so 7-0, big deal." I mean, he was able to get a job. He was able to get a contract extension in spite of that. Nick, last words before we move on to Gotham FC.
I think Ethan just got to play a little smarter when you're distributing out of the back. Well, if you see the defense sitting on top of your guys, play it long. Don't force force it to play out of the back. Yes, Brett Michael wants to play it out of the back, but if the numbers don't dictate otherwise, do the smart thing. All we want you to do is play smart here. Don't make a bad decision to give up a goal when we know our defense can just do that by themselves. We've seen it. Come on. Yes, you saw what's going on against Cincinnati. They had at least 6 point-blank shots. That 4 of them they missed.
And out of those four, they could have had 2 goals.
Yeah, they should have. They should have 4 goals. We should have 4, and they should have 4.
I mean, I said it was looking like the gang that couldn't shoot straight, but then again, that's where it is.
But that kid Ekanicki, when he got on the second step, was he flying down that sideline? Or was he flying right at the defense? And nothing was stopping him. Thank God he can't shoot. Thank you. But listen, I just want this team to play, especially out of the back. Your job, Horvath, should be smart, simple football. That's what they brought you in for. I think he knows he's a temporary fit.
Yeah, but okay, if you know you're a temp, the last thing what you really want to do is step up your game where you remove that interim, name off your thing and be the guy. Any other person in this position, at least I'm thinking, okay, I'm here in the temp, but I'm going to make your decision a lot harder because I'm going to outplay these guys. And to your point, Mark, and your point, Nick, I haven't seen it. I haven't, he's made some great saves in this game, but those are saves that he had to make, right? Because the defense was so. But you're dead right about the ball distribution. Man, that was terrible. I mean, he was coughing up the ball alone in that front, and that was a problem to me. I mean, I can't have keepers who can't figure out what to do with the ball once they make the save. You're right. You got to keep it simple, being smart. But if you're not going to do neither, if you're not going to step up in that area, maybe it's time to give the kids a look. Meanwhile, over in Kansas City, Kansas, remember Kansas City Current in New York Gotham FC? This Kansas City, Missouri. They had, Gotham loses 2-1. They fall to that game. It was a rematch game of last year's playoff game with the now famous word "underdog my ass" by Jaden Shaw. Jaden Shaw was the only one to score the goal. She became, and then of course Nestor Davina finished the rebound from close range, 37th minute, and of course Michelle Cooper hooked up with Ali Centaur in the 60th minute, and that was all she wrote. There are some key points, of course, in this match. Defender Emily Sonnet became the 18th player and the 14th field player in NWSL history to reach 15,000 regular season minutes. She's a lifer. She finished the match, of course, with 15,081. Midfielder Jaden Shaw, scored her 18th career goal and her first of the season for Gotham to give the call of a 1-0 lead in the 29th minute before Kansas City Current scored 2 of their own. Midfielder Savannah McCaskill recorded her first assist in her second stint with Gotham and the 5th of her Gotham career, setting up Shaw's opening goal. Gotham FC has scored each of its last away 5 matches across NWSL competitions. We have it's not, it's a little early for Gotham. I mean, but the problems are still there. They start out slow. Is that a problem for you guys or not really?
Well, right now they're at 13th place out of 16 teams. I mean, 2 goals in 5 games. Where do you want to begin? I mean, it's you can't just flip the switch and say, "Oh, it's June, we got to start playing."
No, that's not sustainable.
No, and we I think the expectation has become that this team is better than what they're starting out as this year. I mean, I don't know if you would agree with that, but my feeling is that this team should be better, and they should not be in this situation. But they're not scoring. They didn't score at home.
That's
right. That's got to be a disappointment.
Yeah. I mean, they've only allowed 4 goals in 5 games, okay? But you've only scored 2. You have 1 win out of 5. You're at the bottom of the table.
Yeah, you got to pick things up.
There's got to be something. There's got to be some way for this team to get on track and not wait until June. We just turned the calendar to April. They've got to start turning it on and playing better. They have the talent.
Their schedule hasn't been the best thing either, because you look where they went. They started off in Boston, all brand new team, new thing, new adventure there. Home for a couple of games, out to Denver, another new team, another loud arena, like 60,000 people watching that game too, on a Wednesday night. Coming back home, then you get Kansas City, who won the regular season title, and you eliminated them in the playoffs on their home soil. You think they had a little extra motivation against you?
Of course they did.
You couldn't finish your chances. It's not helping.
Yeah, so that's the headache, for Gotham, and of course, when you look at this team, yes, they are a slow starter and everything else, but they really, really, really need to start picking things up, because as Mark said, you're now dealing with expectations. You're the defending champions. Okay. You need to start playing like it, for the basics and your fans. We'll still support you though, but that's, I haven't given up on this team. I think they're going to swing it around, but starting out slow every season just to pick it up just in time for the playoffs and then winning the whole thing is not a very sustainable formula. So that's where,
but they have 2 stars.
Yeah. I mean, that's something they can point above their crest where this beloved team does not. So
I mean, I have one. It's a USL. That's a USL star.
Well,
you can't buy Next Pro gear. That's what's really
difficult. Especially your guys in the group, they're upset about that. They're really upset about that.
Because the Next Pro kits are better than the MLS kits. The USL kits were always better. Look at this. This is a stylish looking one.
Yeah.
But that's the unfortunate part is you can't buy the Next Pro kits. They don't sell them to the public.
I mean, look
However,
Leaky
Carmona's girlfriend had one.
Yeah. that's
yeah. I have that exact same one hanging up in my closet. I have the black version that we had for
this is why shit we're about him.
Yeah. I have this one, and I obviously have a few Arsenal kits. I have 2 MLS kits. Actually, no, excuse me, 3. I have one of the glitch kit, which is Bradley Wright Phillips, and I got that because it was on sale. And I just said, you know what? They had it in my size. I'm getting it. I have one with Mike Grella because I love Mike. Home New York boy. I can't deny the man.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the blue kit that we wore. It's the parlay kit. It was the only time we ever played without the Red Bull symbol. We had the words Red Bulls across the front of the jersey. It's the only time we ever won the parlay kits too. But I have that one. So.
All right. Gotham's FC's next home game is on April 25th at 1:00 versus Bay FC. Of course, the other team that we haven't spoken about, speaking of New York Red Bull 2, their next game will be taking place on April 12th, versus New England Revolution. They'll be traveling to New England Revolution 2. That game will take place at 7 p.m. As far as the next game for New York Red Bull, that for Red Bull New York, I can't use my keep switching things around. They got Inter Miami CF, and for that story, Nick Lianos is going to talk about that particular game and that particular match, and why we're all looking at this, with a little bit of dread. But they're going to be playing in some fancy new digs, from what we heard, and from all the photos that I've been seeing. It's pretty nice, for a place that for their honor a guy that's only going to be there for about 2 years and then they're going to be gone. But first, week 6 of Major League Soccer. Here are the final scores, and we'll be back in 30 seconds. Okay, our next game, of course, of the schedule, the Red Bulls are going to be starting off a ridiculous stretch where they'll be playing basically 5 games in 15 days. The first stop, of course, is in Miami, where they're going to be facing Inter Miami and kick off at 7. The name of the new stadium is, New Stadium. I mean, how original, right? The all-time season series 6-6-0 back in the Miami 3-3. This is their 13th meeting. Their last win versus Miami was over in May 31st, 2023, a 1-0 win by the Red Bull of New York, what is referred to as the Owl game, where people talked about that owl that came out. The murdering owl that murdered a poor bird. Nick, this team is the defending champions of Major League Soccer, but for the most part, a lot of folks are looking at this squad in a suspect fashion. But as long as you got a guy by the name of Lionel Messi on your squad, you can't lose, right? But go ahead, Nick. You have the floor. Tell us about Inter Miami and what they've been doing in the last 5 games.
Inter Miami is off to a pretty decent start. They have 3 wins, 2 ties, and 1 loss. That 1 loss being on opening night, where LAFC hammered them 3-0. And the Rose Bowl.
LAFC has been hammering everybody. Last I checked, did they drop 6-0 on someone on some hapless team?
Inter Miami is like the traveling circus. They're gonna get the big crowds, big arenas, big places. They've been to the Rose Bowl in LA, 78,000 people to watch them there. In DC,
78K to see one guy. But go ahead.
In DC, the DC moved the game out to Baltimore, where they had 77,000 to watch that game and watch Sean Nealis debut for DC. No, they went to watch the GOAT, where they won over there, 1-0. They had 36,000 in Charlotte, 46,000 in Yankee Stadium to watch them play. So it's a traveling circus. Their season's up and down. It's the down part was they got eliminated in Champions League. Nashville drew them at home, went to Miami, got on a 1-1 draw, bounced them out on away goals. So definitely didn't want that. I definitely think CONCACAF didn't want them eliminated so fast in the second round on the playoffs, so they can lose their money.
Milk the cash cow, man.
Yeah, they revamped their whole defense. Jordi Alba and Sergio Busquets retired, champions. They brought in Dwayne St. Clair to be the goaltender.
Outstanding goal. That was a big get. I was hoping that Red Bulls get that guy, but nope, didn't get him.
He was the goalkeeper of the year in MLS last year. Sergio Reguilon, who's been much of travel. He's been everywhere. Real, Atletico, Man City, a couple other spots before he wound up back in Miami. They brought in Facundo Mura to clear up the defense. Gonzalo Juan also to bring up the defense. All these Argentinian guys to stick with. And the biggest signing was Herman Bertrame from Monterrey, which they spent $18 million on.
$18 million for that guy. He's a baller. Jesus.
He scored 26 goals on average in Mexico the last 3 years.
Wow. So
he's a scorer. He hasn't scored anything yet, but I think he's the perfect. Rebel defense is perfect for him. Messi's got 5 goals and 2 goals off free kicks, 3 in open play, and the other guy that's been basically setting the pace for them is Segovia, who's got 1 goal, 4 assists, and that to go with and you still have Rodrigo De Paul in the middle of the midfield. So this team is loaded. They're up and down. You know what you're going to get from them. You make a mistake with the ball, they're going to take it and shove it down your throat.
Yeah, pretty much.
Now, have they been good this year? They started off slowly. They also been favoring the Champions League too, so they've been resting people. Now that they're out of the Champions League, they have nothing to play for besides the MLS. And they opened up their new stadium with a 2-2 tie in new stadium in Miami and Freedom Park. Messi scored a goal. Suarez scored a goal. They almost won it at the end. Messi hit the post on a free kick at the end, so they almost won that game too. So they almost brought the home team happy, home fans home happy. Over there, they're going to have 4 games in a row in the new stadium. So this is time for them to just get themselves right before the break. So this is Miami. This is what the champs are. Champs are reloaded and looking for scalps. And we're number 1 on the list now. We're next team up.
I mean, Mark, tactically, from what I'm looking lineup to lineup, there's really not much I can see where the Red Bulls can probably squeak out a win, if anything else. I mean, if there's going to be an Achilles heel to Inter Miami, is that the athleticism that Red Bull's starting 9 possesses. Okay, they're quick on the ball. They'll move around. They shoot like no one else. Inter Miami is a step slow despite the improved defense. Okay, we're talking about veterans to kids. But then again, when you look at the relative experience on the side on both sides, I don't think Red Bull can hold a candle to Inter Miami. Prove them wrong.
There's nothing to prove. The unfortunate part with, and this is one of those things that I think when players get on the field against Messi, everybody's so starstruck. I love the rain game when Suarez was crying, and we were thoroughly destroying them 4-0. Messi was on the bench.
We had the weather on our side, their side. We had the weather on their side. I mean,
everybody will say, like, a wet weather game, rain. It's the ball's going to carry differently. You're not going to have the best footing. I don't care how. Our field was good, but still, guys were slipping and sliding. We don't know what the weather is going to play a factor in or not, because it's Monday. We don't know what Saturday's weather is going to. We don't know what tomorrow's weather is going to be down there. That's about the only X factor I think we can throw into this. We would have to play a very clean game, very, very few mistakes. And we've seen this team, not this particular group of guys, but it's been our Achilles heel that we can play 85 minutes of quality football.
But it's the last 15.
5 minutes. It's that one little mistake.
Right.
One guy goes left instead of right. You turn over the ball, and Messi just stands at midfield. He just waits. He doesn't defend. All right. So you got 9 guys back. Messi's waiting up top, and they try to get him the ball. And he's got 5 goals. Why? Because not a lot of other guys are going to be quality scorers on this team. You've got some guys who can shoot, but they're the one. Everybody's looking to get the ball to Messi. That's just how they've been operating so far this year, And I think that we have the youth on our side.
Yeah.
Does the youth prevail? Does our speed prevail? That's a good question, because their defense is good, maybe not great, but their defense is good. So it all boils down to, can we take advantage of opportunities? Like I said, I think the weather's going to play into it too. If we get a nice wet day, I think it favors us, because I don't think Messi's going to want to be out there running in the rain.
No. Nick, we've seen this team go up against, Miami, and it's always the same. They hang with them until maybe about 15, 20, 25 minutes, maybe a little bit after halftime, and then the inevitable happens, right? The mistakes of it. And when you have a relatively young crew, that's going to happen. Is this going to be the same for New York? Or does, despite Bradley preaching to be patient with the ball and, and try to move around and capitalize on their opportunities, but do you see, is there, do you see a path forward for these guys to get 3 points?
Realistically, no. But you never know what could happen on the field. We couldn't catch a break. It could be a close game. They make a mistake and we pounce on it. It can happen. So anything can happen on the field. So do I think they can beat them? No. Listen, Leo Messi is the GOAT for a reason. He is still, without a doubt. They're bad right now. They're not that great, and he's got half their goals. This guy is an unbelievable talent.
I mean, I've been told many times that, without Messi, this is somewhat of a subpar team. But don't make the mistakes and don't cough up the ball, and you got a chance to win. But if a team like, Austin FC can score 2 goals, can drop 2 goals on them, I mean, what's stopping Red Bull?
I think we can score against them because their defense, again, is a little slower. Well, it's improved. And they caught a break against City because St. Clair should have been red carded for a handball outside the box. Obvious one. I don't know how they didn't review that one on VAR. But we'll leave that alone. But
yeah, we'll leave that alone.
Their defense still leaves a lot to be desired. They do press you up the field. They do what we do. They're going to press you on the ball to make the turnover so they can go back with an attack mode. But if you can spring 4 passes against them, you can catch them. The problem is, can you string those 4 passes against them? A couple of teams have done it. LAFC just destroyed them opening night, and then we're just running right at them.
Just ripped open, their wound in front of everybody. I'm like,
and they're like, okay, your center back stink, and we got 2 guys that are going to punish you. We're going to come right at you. So, can Cade have an advantage against Noah Allen? He's a 20-year-old. He's going to be starting at probably a left back. He's got a good shot. That's a good even matchup. Cade can win that matchup. Jorge on the other side, I think he's definitely going to look to impress everybody there. He scored twice against Miami already. We're playing with when he was down in Mexico. So, can we score? We probably will. Are we going to score enough? I don't think so.
Don't think so. I mean, because once again, there's that little bug. Well, there's that little bugaboo by defense. Remember? I mean, we got out of there with the skin. I mean, everyone left and right. I mean, even your post game soliloquy was excellent. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. So the fact that we got out of there with 4 goals, with them scoring 2, could have been 3, could have been 4. Could have been 4. Could have been a 4-4 game, but I'm not quite sold on the defense. I have to agree with both of you. I hate the fact that the Red Bulls have to play a near perfect game in order to get a positive result. It's doable, but saying that young teams don't make mistakes is a little bit of a misnomer. Okay, I'm almost expecting them to make a mistake and get all starry-eyed and get all gusty-eyed with Messi on the field, and then Messi goes, "Oh, okay, I'll guess I'll do something," and to wow the crowd and everything else.
I'll stop walking around like the old man that I am.
Yeah, right.
I tell you, one of my friends sent me a message and said he wanted to know. He's like, "Did he go to retire?" I'm like, "Well, he walks around like an old man." Yeah, but every once in a while he gets that little burst of energy and can put the ball in the net. But if you watch where Messi is off the ball, I told you, he hangs out right up at the midfield stripe. He doesn't really come back. He doesn't track back further.
No, he doesn't do that. Doesn't have to.
If you watch Hall, you watch Chupo, they do get involved in the defense. And that's the one thing that Messi doesn't do. So he leaves that space. But he's up to bother our center backs, and we know our center backs aren't the greatest passers in the world.
No.
So it's sort of it's a difficult line to walk, and again, we have a very inexperienced team. And will they be starstruck? Will they rise to we won't know until Saturday.
Yeah, we won't know until that.
I don't have a lot of faith that we're going to walk out of there with 3 points.
I'll be happy. I mean, put it this way: I'll be happy with 1, straight up. Straight up, I'll be happy. I mean, I know a lot of people would be kind of miffed about that. We didn't beat Messi.
No,
calm down. I'm like, calm down.
In their house, if we get 1 point,
I mean, they're kind of miffed.
Run.
Yeah, they're kind of miffed that they let Austin walk off with a point. Okay, and they came within inches of a goal post to winning it. Okay, but didn't happen. So that that is the end of that. So now we come to almost at the end, but the famous part of it, predictions. Okay, I don't feel comfortable at this match. I'm going to start off first. I'm going to just simply say it. I see 3 goals by Miami, 3-1 Inter Miami. I mean, the pain continues every time you face these guys. You're gonna hang with these guys for about maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes, 35, maybe 45 minutes. But then after that, the inevitable mistakes will happen, and then that's when the roof comes crashing in. We're gonna see this again, But I'm hoping, like I always paraphrase all of my predictions. I hope I'm wrong. Nick, you're next, man.
I'm gonna go 4-2 Miami. I think we do score 2. I think we do
4-2.
4-2.
4-2. It's not looking good for Bradley and the crew.
Listen, you gotta expect this. Unfortunately, that team is loaded. We're a work in progress. You have what we're relying on 3 teenagers and guys in their 20s that have never been really given the full opportunity to show what they've got. Now we're throwing them out there, and we're seeing how it goes. So, can it work? Can we score against them? I think we'll catch them. Will be interesting if we take a. I hope we keep it close for the most part for 65, 70 minutes, and we'll stay within stay giving our chances. But reality is going to set in. That team is loaded, and their striker is out to get a goal.
Yeah,
and they're going to feature him to get this goal because he hasn't come close yet.
Mark, you got the last word, my man.
I'm going to go with a 3-2 loss because I think we can get a second goal. I don't think we'll just be held to 1, but I think somehow, some way we managed to keep them from blowing us out. But I just don't. I'd love to see us get the tie. I'd love it. I don't want to see a 2-2 in the 80th minute because I'll turn the TV off. I will walk away because I just know heartbreak is coming. You just know. If we're close and we're 10 in stoppage, I'm turning the TV off. I'm walking away. I can't. You can only hurt yourself so much.
Can we play like the U7, U18, U15 games? 80 minutes, good. 2-2. We go off the field. Let's go, guys. Keep the time going.
I don't think they'll let us do that. But darn. I don't see us. Like I said, I would love to see us come home with a point. That would be phenomenal. I don't know that this squad has it in them to bring home a point. So we'll face the inevitable. It's going to be a learning process. I think the team will learn a lot. That's the other thing that's going to come out of this game. They are going to learn a lot about how to play because they're going to be watching guys who can ball. And it's just can they go toe to toe with? No, I don't think we can. And we're not at that point.
Yeah, one team is loaded. The other team is a work in progress. We'll see which one, as I say, pans out. And, of course, we get a wonderful song. That means we have reached the end of our show. Big thanks to everyone chiming in and enjoying us in this last hour, especially during the pregame. If you missed the show, don't worry. As always, you can actually catch us on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And, of course, our home from the very beginning, Spotify.com. All of our shows will be uploaded officially at midnight on Wednesday for your watching and viewing pleasure. And if you have any questions about our topics, our guests, our show, and everything else in between, NYRBDG, the podcast at gmail.com is our email address. Please feel free to bring them in because we love to read your letters and everything, even long after we sign off for the evening. And of course, if there's anything very interesting we want to talk about, we'll use that topic for our next show. Speaking of next week, Lon Ray Badmus and of course Miguel Nunez will probably those are 2 perfect guys to actually rant about after what happening over in Miami. I'm sure they're gonna flame everybody left and right, but that's basically what they do, and everything else. Big thanks, of course, to my man Mark Coates and, of course, Nicholas Lianos, the professor. Thank you guys very much for joining us this last hour. We'll be back with us next week with episode 171. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us. We had a good. Well, remember, U.S. Open Cup is taking place on the 15th. Tax Day. Oh boy. And of course will be at Red Bull Arena versus one of the local teams, man. This is going to be fun for that one. Of course, show up, show out for the boys. So regardless of what you feel about it's Open Cup means you say Open Cup competitions are for the supporters, regular games are for the fans. So do show up and enjoy the fun. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, thanks very much for joining us. We will see you guys next week. Until then, good night and goodbye